But we didn't even get who you are.
Right, swing it into
No, you're
it.
just
So
sitting
I'd
in
like
the
to know
chair.
who
I'm like,
you
right, I
guys
don't
are,
even
to
know
be
your
fair.
name.
I don't even know you guys. Well, I don't know you guys. I know you guys. It's family.
Cool. So, I'm Big Rome's. This is my show that you're on.
All right. Nice to meet you, Big Rums. Thank you for having me here.
I'm DJ Illness.
Illness?
Yeah.
DJ Illness. Nice to meet you, DJ Illness.
What do you do?
Me? What do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I do a lot of things.
Name them.
By day.
Ross.
So by day.
No, I want to know by night.
Oh, by night. I'm joking. So my day job is, well, it's more than my day job. I see it as like a vocation. I love it. So I do gang intervention and prevention, but I don't like the term gang. So I work with a lot of young people and young adults who are associated or on the fringes of, I basically manage a few projects in a certain borough.
What borough?
In Waltham Forest.
Okay.
In Waltham Forest. And I do quite a lot of community work historically. I have my own organisation, which we're currently in. I don't mind talking about this.
Go for it.
We're shutting down at the minute due to mistakes we made, not having the right guidance. And I also have a hair care page. Natural hair care. I promote natural hair care.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So that's me.
What you want to?
That's not who I am. It's
You
what I
want
do.
to throw out the Insta?
Yeah. So my natural hair care page is DANSHCT. That's Dan's,
Can you do hair?
Dan's Hair Care Tips. Do hair. I did this.
Bro.
So I'm not a hairdresser. But I manage my own hair. I give hair care advice.
Okay.
So at the time we're at right now, we got a lot of black women relaxing their hair because they don't know how to manage their hair. I was one of those women. From the age of 18, I started relaxing my hair. And that was because my hair was fine. I didn't have any problem with my hair. The only issue was managing it. My hair's very thick. And whenever I straightened it, went outside, it would just frizz up. I didn't want to go swimming, had a bit of a complex. My mum's mixed and has looser curls than myself. So I think there was a bit of an identity issue as well. So when I left school and the cane rows stopped, I wanted to have my hair straight. And then when I became 25, I think I found myself.
Okay.
And then I felt that, I needed to go on that journey of not relaxing my hair. I used to have my hair laid, used to have my nails done every 2 weeks. Stopped doing that.
Okay.
And just trying to find my authentic self.
So now you're more organic now. You're more.
Still on a journey.
Gosh, cheers.
Still on a journey. Come on.
So what's good for the hair then, the natural hair? Because right now I feel like, as I was saying earlier, we're being marketed to, like we're being told like what really works.
What really works.
Yeah, what's really good, because it's funny. My daughter's exactly the same as you. Her mum's mixed. My dad's, and I'm telling her stop push. Like she wants to do all these kind of funny things in her hair, and it makes me mad. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with your hair. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like I'm selfishly asking for myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Problem.
I'm not gonna lie.
No problem. In that type of situation, I think the first things first is knowing who you are. It's teaching her. It's identity is the first things first, and accepting who you are and being happy with who you are and what the God-given hair on your head. That's first things first. Then you can get into what products you need and all of that kind of stuff. And I think the main thing is people understanding that all our hair is different. So a lot of people will follow certain hair care pages or see these girls with long hair and will be like, okay, maybe I need to do this. No, you need to study yourself first. You need to study your hair. You need to study what's needed for your hair. But one of the main things that a lot of black people don't do is moisturize their hair. We love oil. There's no water-based nothing because they're scared their hair will frizz. Okay. And that's the issue. If you're not moisturizing your hair breaks. It's a lot. There's a lot of things.
So we're saying arganols
and trimming. Don't want to cut. No one wants to cut their hair because they want to hold on to the little piece of hair that they do have. No offense to anybody, but
yeah, I feel like I need to trim up my thing because it's been this length for a little while, you see me? But it's doing its thing though, because when my thing blow dry, it's mud, you know? The girl am hating, you know? Is that yours? Yeah, it is still.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. But if you want further advice, happy for anyone to DM me. I can answer any questions needed that I know within my own experience and my own research. And if I don't have it, I'll pass it on to someone else.
What about the beard? Cause my thing's struggling.
Well, my partner, that's what we've been on a journey together.
Okay.
And I might talk about it. All right.
He's in the building.
So, previously he spoke about when he used to comb his beard every day, and when he used to comb it, there'd be shedding, or it'd be like. That was because he used to just use oil on his beard. So I said to him, "Come, let's put some moisturizer on the beard, and then put oil on top." So you put moisturizer. You must make sure you cleanse your beard just like you cleanse your hair, so it's clean. You moisturize it so that it's moisturized, and then you put the oil on top to keep the moisture in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the oil closes up the pores type of thing, innit?
The oil doesn't moisturize the hair. Oh yeah. It locks in the moisture. If you just put moisture in your hair, it evaporates. Yeah. So we started doing that mud thing. Everything's just.
It's a beard mud. Beard that shell away.
Yeah, I need to my thing. My
no
thing's
more
on
shedding. No more shedding. So there's no more. We don't see any like pieces of hair. No issues in that area. So for anyone that's got a beard, you need to moisturize that. All these balms and oils that they're promoting, foolishness. You need to moisturize. Us as black people have dry hair.
100.
Yeah,
for
our
real.
hair is naturally dry. It needs moisturizing. Yeah, and when your hair's straight, you got a full sense of your hair feels nice and silky. Your hair's barling for moisture.
Balling, yeah.
Balling.
It's a ball.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Balling my ball.
For moisture, but yeah.
So I'm honestly scratching my head. I'm thinking that I don't recall seeing hair moisturizer. Like I know about skin moisturizer, but I've never heard of hair moisturizer until just now. So yeah, well,
another tip as well. Sorry, like when we put oil on our skin, and we use coconut oil. You probably do as well, Smithy. You put it in shell. So we put coconut oil, but we don't do it without our bodies being wet. Yeah, because you put oil in your skin, you're like, but yeah, your skin's mad greasy. Your body soaks up oil with your skin being wet, and then you'll notice you won't be as greasy and shiny.
Yeah, I do that. Like I'm not entirely dry. Like man's body's kind of wet and man grease up and I do that.
Warm shower though, isn't it?
What's this? Go on.
No.
Nah, because you look like you was lining up a shot round there. But go on, line your shot, fam. Yo, Swiffy corner. Yo, Swiffy low, man.
The genuine thing.
That's what I'm saying. Man, I'm some R&B singer. You get me? He's got the K-Rose locked down now. He's on some silky smooth and a little bit in the... I see you though, bro. I see you. It's cool.
I'll give you like that one still. You can have it still.
Same rule for the hair. Same rule for the skin. Same rule for the hair.
Does it take about 3 seconds? Anything that touch your skin?
What do you mean?
Soak straight in?
When your skin, I just let my naturally dry.
Yeah.
Or like you put your towel around you and then you just dab yourself. Good.
But that's obviously after more or less a warm shower though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously when a warm shower, your pores are open. Cold shower,
exactly
your pores tend to close up.
Exactly that.
Do you make them or do you just promote someone else's stuff?
I will promote someone else's stuff, but we are in the process of looking into making our own.
Yeah,
and I say we because we work together. So we are in the process of looking into that. But right now, I use a 16-year-old girl's business that she started up. Her mum helps her. Her little brother and her mum, her 16-year-old girl. And all her oils are cold pressed, pure, natural, organic oils that she uses. So she uses like jojoba oil. She makes jojoba oil, avocado oil, castor oil, and then she makes like shea butter mixed with coconut oil and all of that kind of stuff. Because she's young, obviously I want to promote her, but her Instagram is Lucia, LUCIA _loves, LOVES. Definitely show her some love.
Cool. So you heard that, yeah? Make sure you follow up.
Bigger up,
man.
Again? 16, you have to bigger up, man.
Come on. But yeah, so that's whose oils I use. I don't go to packs and use these mixed things. Because if you go to packs and you pick up an oil, that thing's mixed down with however many.
Bare things, innit?
Bare things. It's not even...
That's what I'm saying, man. I know I've been going wrong.
The numbers, though, innit? What people need to be very much aware of. And the chemicals. So
so in natural hair products as well, there's a lot of stuff that's not good for us and that causes cancer.
Of course.
There's certain... And the thing is, it's all a marketing thing, because at the minute, even with regards to us as black women and black men, there's a lot of things and products that are being marketed because there is a big natural hair movement. at the minute. So they're trying to market all these products, but when you look at the ingredients, it's trash.
Trust me.
That you're putting on your hair and your skin. So
it's like Alzheimer's and a lot of them brain diseases are coming from a lot of the
fibroids
stuff
for women and all of that kind of stuff.
I'm saying.
Yeah, which can cause infertility.
Says what olive oil, some of them, like you go and packs it, might say, natural olive oil, but you're not putting it back. You see about 20 ingredients on the thing.
All them long words that man don't even have to spell when them things. If I'm bare time I'm seeing Trololi, I'm like, bro, what is that? I'm not even.
Petroleum is a no-go.
Swear down.
Vaseline,
I use Vaseline daily, you know.
That is a real no-go.
Is it a no-go,
On a serious level,
On a serious level, blocks up everything.
Yeah.
How would you call it? I was using Palmer's. I think everybody was using Palmer's. And then
white
cocoa butter. Yeah.
Okay.
Why did you start laughing like that? Anyway,
you're good, man. You're good.
I was just using that, and then I was going through my creams, and I said to myself, you know what? I don't know what's in these things, but I remember back in the day as a youth, man, I was seeing like baby oil and certain oils getting used, so I started using like something like a shea butter, kind of like Vaseline kind
and then
of
you
oil
get into
thing.
the stage where you're just using it for the smell of what it is.
I'm not gonna lie, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
still.
of course. Come on, bro.
That's where I'm at. So what you're saying, petroleum is the worst thing ever?
Yeah, it's not good. It's petroleum. What's petroleum?
Can run a car on petrol, yeah?
Right.
I love the smell of petrol. Just to put that out there, it's mad.
Petroleum, man. That clogs up everything.
Swear down.
Breathe.
Huh?
Nothing can breathe once that touches it.
Swear down.
Just
I
use
use that.
coconut oil. It don't always.
But then they say it's because like coconut oil is meant to obviously block up the pores as well.
Really? Is that for everyone though?
This is what I'm saying. It's a bit of because I can't.
They don't agree with everybody.
There's a term for it. I can't remember what it is, but it is meant to block up the pores.
You gotta send me that information, bro.
That's crazy. That's why.
Like shea butter, because that's heavy stuff as well.
Even that, I find I don't.
Thick.
Yeah, I don't agree with me. That dries out my skin.
I feel like I need a PhD tonight to cream my skin right now. It's getting mad, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's mad.
Jojoba oil is the closest oil to our skin.
Yeah.
Who?
Jojoba oil. J-O-J-O-B-A.
Like the J one, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting that.
Why is that the closest to our skin? Why is that the closest to our
I
skin?
don't know. I just heard it. I researched. Research.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I cross-reference. So I've heard it a number of times.
Okay. Well, then something new still. You. With them cakes there.
What about them?
Tell us about it,
You
man.
told me that you're vexed that I didn't turn up with no cake.
Yeah, because you're new and you're saying you got this cake business and all of these things. And this is what I'm saying, but I can't just go off someone's word.
Birthday cake.
Yeah, anyone can say that.
Mad thing.
No. It wasn't my fault. Technically speaking, Smithy is bad.
Don't call that
Yeah,
my
yeah.
name, man. Don't pass.
Me have to shift blame then.
Say bring that in with me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I come
We come to promote the cake like that. How can you do that? You can't do that.
Right now, we're supposed to be on camera.
That's like me saying, yo, I'm the baddest lyricist, you know, and I'm not even going to spit one bar. What?
I'm sorry, I was busy. I was up baking 4 cakes.
So what type of cakes do you bake?
We'll know next time, innit?
Oh, okay. Yeah, like this.
Yeah, you're too comfy around there, man.
Well, I'll be sitting there for God knows how long in your spot, innit? The original
Ross,
spot.
easy now.
Yeah, so basically, I would say about maybe 7 years ago, I decided when I had my son that I wanted to be able to bake his own cakes.
Okay.
And he's allergic to eggs, same as me. So I thought, okay, eventually, Smith here, but I actually baked you your first cake.
First cake, yeah.
And we all ran joke about it because you remember how it looked, and it was terrible. And from there, I said, you know what? For everyone's birthday in my family and friends, I'm gonna bake a cake because I'm gonna be good at this. I want to bake my son's first birthday cake, which I did. And then since then, it's just become, something that has now turned into a business for me. And I said to myself in 2019 in January that I actually want to put myself out there a bit more and actually be a bit more confident in myself and to say, this is what I'm going to do, because it's a bit, it makes me feel a bit vulnerable because obviously you're putting yourself out there for someone to criticize something that you put your effort into in that kind of sense. But I love it. So yeah, when Smith actually turned vegan and I had one customer that was allergic to dairy, was allergic to peanuts, was allergic to something else. I can't remember. Can't remember now. And I had to make him a birthday cake, and that's when I made my first vegan chocolate cake. And I swear, when I made that cake for that child, I was just like, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die.
Oh
Please
my
don't
days,
die.
you can't, bruh.
No, because he has an EpiPen for everything. So he's just sitting there, and that was his first birthday cake. His 16th
That is
birthday
pressure, man.
was his first birthday cake that he's ever had in his life. And I was thinking, okay, I can actually do this. So, you know, I started making eggless cakes, and then obviously vegan cakes, and then from red velvet to chocolate to, it's trial and error. I was there the other day baking. I baked up to 8 red velvet cakes to make a vegan recipe because I couldn't find one online that I liked. So
how many? 8.
8.
I didn't bring one.
Yeah, it's just something that I like. So yeah, from lemon drizzle to chocolate cake, red velvet cake, coconut cake, pink champagne, you know, lemonade cake. What else can I think of?
Boy,
so you said you done 8 tests on the red velvets.
Yeah.
Like, what was every test like? Because obviously you must be getting stressed every time you're doing one.
and
How
it's
long
not
was the
going on-
process?
It's not patterned into how you want it.
I did it over 2 days. So it was
Jeez,
2
a lot of
days.
baking.
So the basis of making a red velvet cake is actually a chocolate cake. So they say that history, it stems from the Victorian times where they were rationing. So they had a lot of beetroots to use, and that's why they used the actual beetroot in the cake itself. So a lot of the cakes that they make these days, they don't actually use beetroot to make red velvet no more. They actually use food colouring.
Okay.
So every red velvet cake that most people look at is just coloured or dyed red. So yeah, I have to enhance the colour because obviously if I don't enhance the colour, the customer will think that's not red velvet. But the actual natural colour of beetroot is what is the red velvet in the actual real cake. And it was stressful because I wanted to have a recipe that actually contained beetroot. So it was adapting my vegan chocolate cake recipe and extracting a little bit of chocolate. Did I put too much chocolate? What did I do wrong? I use tofu in my one. So did I put too much? Did I put too little? Because it's the equivalent to egg. So that's what would be the balance. Do I need to add more flour? Take out more flour. It's too sweet. Take out some sugar in that kind of sense. So usually they say most cakes call for equal ingredients. So say, for example, if you use 200 grams of flour, use 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of sugar.
Okay.
But it was a process of just literally adjusting it. And I was writing it down each time. Where did I go wrong in this one? Okay, right. On this one, try that. Scrap. And then I literally started stacking them above each other. And then I started tasting each single one.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, I got away and I said, I need you to try this. Like, tell me, what does that taste? And he's just sitting there, he goes, that one tastes nice. No, that tastes nice. They all taste nice. Like, I don't get it. It tastes like cake. I don't know. You know, what do you want me to say? Is that for somebody? Can I have that with custard? I'm like, so you like it? It's edible in that kind of sense. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no, it's still not right. And he's just like, what you do with the beetroot? And I'm like, what do you think red velvet cake is? And then it was literally just, you know, taking it about that step. And I'm doing a coconut one now. So that's my new trial and error one. That will be this week, and I want to practice seeing if I can make a vegan coconut cake recipe, because I do feel like there's a market for it. And I feel like at the moment what we've kind of got is a lot of people just stemming with allergies. My youngest son, he's allergic to nuts. So I have to be careful with what, you know, cross-contamination and what he can and can't have in that kind of sense. One of my sons is allergic to egg. I'm allergic to egg and nuts. So it's a case of, well, what can I have that you lot can have that, you know, that you don't miss out on? So when you said earlier, what vegan desserts can you have, or, you know, what cakes, or like, oh no, I can't be vegan. I'm like, there's a lot of alternatives. And since November, I've been, I would say, a cross between pescatarian and vegetarian in that kind of sense, that I don't necessarily go out my way to eat fish, but if it's maybe prepared for me by family or whatever, then I will eat it. But then I've actually, through training at the gym as well, have actually put on weight being vegetarian than I was as a meat eater when I was trying to gain weight to, you know, build lean muscle mass. And I was thinking, well, I don't need to do that being a meat eater. I've actually been able to do that as a vegetarian and, slash pescatarian in that kind of sense.
But isn't that your calorie intake though? You might have more of a calorie intake when you was eating the fish, not necessarily the meat.
I get that, but my body's never digested meat properly in the first place. So that's why I thought, you know what, let me try giving it up in that kind of sense.
I have 2 questions. First one is, have you ever baked any cakes without using wheat flour for people who are gluten intolerant?
Not yet.
Okay.
And I did get asked that a couple weeks ago because a lady wanted to get a cake for her husband, but he's got quite a lot of allergies in a sense of he's got a gluten intolerance. He's got an egg intolerance, but he's got irritable bowels as well.
Yeah.
And
that's usually linked to gluten.
This guy's got everything.
He's got it. That's mad still.
Yeah.
But
so I said, you know what? I will look into that because honestly, I don't know if it's what they were currently doing to the food, but a lot is changing and a lot of people are suffering with a lot of issues to do with their stomachs and to do with what they're eating and, it affects their lifestyle.
We spoke about this the other week, innit?
Really? It's good that you're speaking about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I've just all of a sudden got this gluten intolerance, but I stopped eating meat 3 years ago. So I think, I don't know if it's...
They're putting things in the food that they weren't putting in the food.
Before.
Like everything we're buying, like you were saying about E-numbers and rare. Like, they only just found out, like, a couple years ago that all of this beef that they were selling was horse. Like, it just is what it is. We don't actually know what we're eating, and that's why people are coming up, in my perspective, people are coming up with everything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's not real food. Like, the only way you're going to actually know what you're actually eating is if you grow it and kill it yourself.
And you heard about rice being like plastic and all of this kind of stuff.
Well, sorry, not to cut you, but it's like this week I made noodles. And it never occurred to me that every time I make it, that my belly literally, it looks like I'm pregnant.
Bloats.
And I'm like, something's making me sick here. And, when your man's walking around the house like, boy, why are you looking a bit... I'm just like, I think something's going on here. My belly is was just right out there. And I was thinking, what did I eat? I started scanning everything and I was thinking it must be wheat.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, right, now it's time to reevaluate what I'm consuming now in that kind of sense. And it's kind of frustrating because it's like, I look at it like, like you say, you're vegan and, you want to live a healthy lifestyle. It's just like, well, if they're already tampering with the meat, like you said a few years ago, beef horse, it's a bit like the same with saying, well, okay, how long before they start tampering with, if they're not already?
They are.
Exactly.
They are. Anything that's mass produced and sold in the supermarket, they're messing with it 100%.
Well, this is why it's a good thing for me because my uncle's got an allotment.
Yeah.
So he's starting to grow all of his own stuff.
So we come to you now, yeah?
Boy.
Yeah, but
gonna have to roll to you because I'm trying to live a long life,
Coming to get
Trust me.
in the morning?
Anything. But no, you're right. Like, everything's getting troubled. Like, everything. Like, you don't even know, even certain farmers are saying organic, but you don't know what kind of soil they're using. The thing goes far.
Yeah, it goes deep, fam.
Can you get me the minerals in
and
the
then
soil?
plus the weather is not building up the food properly, so they just inject it with the steroids. You get me? Because the way how these bananas are looking these days,
Brother,
and these apples and all, bro, they're looking way too bolo.
Yeah.
I'm like, something's going on there,
like
man.
they're
You
in
get
Gold's
me?
Gym or something.
You get me?
When you're abroad and you try fruits, so like when I'm in Jamaica and I try fruits, my gosh, I can live on fruits.
Yeah.
You see, if I go pick up a mango over here, I just want to throw it in someone's head. It's just not the same. It's just not the
Can't get
same.
them things from the market, man. It's from the supermarket. Mangoes, we have to go to the
Yeah, you have to get a proper mango somewhere. Yeah,
can't eat
when I come back, my suitcase is full.
Really?
Full.
Well, I think we just need to be more alert and research what we're eating before we just consume what we're consuming. You get me?
Just not eat nothing, just drink water or whatever.
You get me? You got to just drink water. Well, boy, you can, but
even listen, we can even start talking about what's in the water.
That's how it goes deep. Have you seen that test that they do in the water?
What's that? What test? pH?
Alkaline.
Yeah,
test.
what's got the most alkaline? And
It's
them
all mad
things.
because then we drink bottled water and then the plastic
Is it?
and what it does. It's
We
like
just
we can't
win,
win.
innit?
It's hard because
And we
like,
can't even just eat the air, fam. We can't just breathe the air because the air's all
You know what I
polluted as
mean?
well.
It's
So
your
man,
chemtrails, like, what's
so
going
even
on?
like
Every
this
minute
week, I
I'm
went to
seeing
my
these streets
brethren's jar.
fly.
I went to my brethren's jar for 2 weeks, and he's got a water purifier, distiller machine. Sorry, yeah. So obviously pulls out all the heavy metals. Now we're putting in bottled water, yeah. And when you look inside afterwards, the amount of gunk, disgusting, yeah. And like, so you taste it, and it was like, all right, tastes a lot like clear. But then he also had this machine called a Vitalizer Plus, which works off the natural principles closest to nature. So basically, there's like a magnetic force, and you put the water in, and it works off 369. So like, there's 3 settings, and if you understand universal numbers, like 369 is everywhere in the universe. So there's number 9 minutes, 18, 27. Obviously 18, 1 plus 8, 9, 2 plus 7, 9 again. So boom, it spins in a vortex, yeah. And what it does, it oxygenates the water, changes the structure of the water. So a lot of people's blood have got like a lot of acidic connections to it, and it's been scientifically proven that it changes the flow of the oxygen and the blood within it. You see, when you drink that water now, oh my, it's just bubbles. Like straight away, there's bubbles. And with the bottled water, naturally, you don't really obviously be shaky. You see 1 or 2 bubbles, but this water, it's just bubbles. Like you ain't even moving it, and it's bubbles, and you drink it, and straight away your head feeling like you're like Ross. Your eyes are feeling like you're getting a. So when I've been doing
powering
that,
up, you're going to a
so
deep.
I think that made it easier this week whilst I was doing that at the 3-day water fast.
Okay.
So I was drinking that water, like I walk around with him. Anytime I stepped out, I took his machine with me. I went barbershop.
Took it on the road.
Took it on the
I
roads.
feel like the water from is it Glastonbury, the spring.
Nah, different because the Glastonbury was obviously more coming from the spring in it, the wells. So but that one there was a different type because like we drank that and it was just like
I had like a spiritual experience.
yeah.
What, in
I've
Glastonbury?
never drank water.
Yeah.
That felt like
Sorry.
I
I thought you were going to tell us more about the Glastonbury experience. Was it just the water or? Yeah.
Nah, we just because I used to live near in Somerset, so a place called Yeovil. I used to play a football team called Yeovil.
I DJ'd there once.
Yeah,
Crazy place.
where in Chicago Rocks or
I don't even know. I can't even remember.
is either there or Neo's? There's only 2 places.
Yeah, somewhere over there. It was crazy, but yeah,
yeah,
it's a long time
So-
ago. Like, yeah. Anyway.
yeah. So Glastonbury's like.
Why are you
like-
smiling so much for?
yeah.
Nah, cool. Yeah. Go on,
So
sorry.
Glastonbury was like half an hour away. So Dan came down and Rochelle, and then I took them over there, and then like it's just natural spring wells, and just like obviously it's high in calcium, the water and everything, fresh from the spring. And then like the minute you drank it,
tingling.
it's like, nah, Smith, this water's different. It's high in iron as well, and like it just gave you a different feeling. Literally, so I thought, you know what? Rather than going out and buying all this water, I started buying all water canisters, 5 liters. I'll go over there, I'll fill up. Like I had about 5 of the canisters. Fill up every time, and just go back home and just leave them there in my yard. So I was saving loads on water just going to a natural spring.
I think the key was what you kept them in though, because I did the same thing in a plastic bottle. And by the
Okay.
time I got back
I remember you
to
were saying,
London, the water was yellow.
Ross.
but I think that
That's
was
how
the
fresh.
iron content, yeah, because obviously the iron
Yeah,
was just
can't drink
fresh.
that again.
Boy,
But yeah, so it's
all
all
mad.
it's all
I say
different,
we all
boy.
just go and
I say we stop
the
drinking
Caribbean.
water, stop eating,
That's what I'm saying.
and stop breathing.
It's
Then stop
crazy.
eating
No,
still.
no,
Stop
no.
eating is good for you
That's
still.
crazy. Stop eating, fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mad. But yeah, dilemma
Yeah,
time.
move it.
Okay.
We got dilemma time. You know, some people are really stressing, you know. So we gotta help them out, you get me? So put on your capes. You know, got people to save, you know. You see me? But yeah. So this is from a woman. She ain't put her name on nothing. I wouldn't eat.
That's how you know it's serious.
I wouldn't. She's like, guys, change nothing about this podcast. This is my favorite podcast at the moment. Keep it up. Go on.
That's nice.
Love that. Yeah. So she goes, I was in a 5-year relationship with my ex. We have a child, age 3, together. who we'll do anything for. The relationship seemed great. Majority of the time, average, normal relationship with its ups and downs as you have them. But I believe it only really became seesaw after my son was born. Obviously, responsibilities hit big time. Both wasn't ready, so moods became up and down for the both of us. Nonetheless, every issue was minor. Literally half a day arguing, maybe sometimes a day not talking, but everything will be good again after a meal and sex and grown adult reasoning. We broke up a year ago. Why is she dropping it like that? But yeah, after he cheated on me with my cousin and dosed me.
Oi.
Mad, innit? What's she say? I call it a perfect cheat for this case because I had no clue when, how, where till this day when he had a chance to do this, as I believed I was with him near enough every day. I refused to hear the ins and outs of what went on with them. At the end result of it, she got pregnant, which caused a big feud in the family. However, I met him last week to see his son because I'm not a believer of punishing men by not allowing them to see their kids. That day I found out he has cancer and he randomly proposed to me. I didn't answer the question, and every day since then he keeps asking me to marry him. He non-stop apologizes for breaking my heart and says to me he can't die knowing that he hasn't got me by his side. What do? I can't forgive him for the trauma he put me through. I never pictured raising my son in a broken home, but seeing my cousin's daughter, brackets his daughter, brings back the hate I have for him. But I feel in this situation I don't want to just be there for him because I only feel sorry for him. I can't love him like before. Please don't make jokes. This is important to me.
Sad.
So let's digress the thing now. So boom, she was in a relationship. He's done dirt. He's trash. He has a kid with her cousin.
Jeez.
He's obviously found out he's ill. Now he wants her back. He's marrying, giving the sob story, and she doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know if she should be with him to help him and for the son's sake, or just leave it out.
But shit, every time she sees that other child,
it brings back the hate.
I think, from my opinion, it's a very, very difficult situation.
Mad, innit?
But you've kind of got to do what's in your best interest for yourself. Because you don't want to project that kind of energy onto your child either. But then I also think it's the type of person that you've got to be in this world is one that, if it was your last day, would you say like, okay, I did well in that kind of sense? So where he's got cancer, I think she should, put all her kind of like hatred and everything to bed, in the sense that just make your peace. And I'm speaking from experience or friends that have been in a very similar situation. Make your peace, because when that person's gone, you just want to know that you did everything in your power to, I'm not condoning anything that he's done in that kind of sense, but you don't want to walk through life knowing that you have a regret. Yeah. In that kind of sense. But that is a very difficult situation. It is.
Me, I'm raw. I would say don't even worry about him because he made his bed. So if I lie in it, really.
He's the father of her son.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's even deep. But
it's
he's done
really
wrong.
Deep, though.
It's not deep, innit?
It's not that deep. I don't think. Sorry. I think you got to compartmentalize everything because you're trying to deal with everything in one go like it's all one thing. He's the father of your son. You've decided I'm not going to stand in the way of you seeing your son. That's over there then, innit? You've decided to sleep with, or he's decided to sleep with her cousin. Where was he thinking about his son when he was doing that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't mix up the two. That's something to the side. For me, innit? That's something to the side. Like, the only thing that I would really say to her.
And why is it that it takes something serious like that for you to remember how good of a woman she was? You get me?
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
why I'm not
think
really
it's a pity
really
thing.
feeling too sorry for him, if I'm honest.
It's a pity thing. He's feeling sorry for himself.
Mm.
And he's gravitating back. He knows he's done wrong. It's all about him. This situation sounds like it's all
100%.
about him.
100%.
He's not even taking into consideration the fact that he hurt her and what he did.
And how she's actually
And just
feeling.
leave her in peace to live her life and do
The
what
only
she
thing that I would
needs to
say
do.
to her, yeah, is did it say in there that she didn't ask no question about what he was doing and all
Yeah,
this
yeah,
and
she
that
didn't
and
want to know.
She
She
needs
didn't want to
ask
know the
him
ins and outs.
Everything now.
Why?
Get
But
it?
why though? It's not even important.
Because
bro.
what did you say? You might have a regret. She might be in there, like not really saying it's bunning her. That
Could be a
might
closure
line
for
that's-
something that
that
she
might be a
needs.
line that's not in the
Okay.
dilemma. Do you know
Okay.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
So
for real.
if there is anything in your head that you need the answer to,
Mm-hmm.
you should go and have that conversation, because you know what, the clock's obviously ticking a lot quicker than it should or she would like it to be. So go and get that out of the way. If after you've had that whole situation out, you think, you know what, everybody can make mistakes, which everybody can, then you can start looking on things different for me. But if I was her, I would just keep her dignity, be the best parent she can, let him be the best dad he can, and everything else.
Because she's yet to suffer more heartbreak, innit? When he
That's what I said.
does
Make it
pass, that's more heartbreak for her, innit? For her child as well. So
I think it's true what Ona said, like, definitely ask all the questions you need to ask, because you need to try and make that peace within yourself as well before anything. Because like she said, if obviously
But
man
she's-
passed away and she ain't made
but
no
she
peace.
said she doesn't want to know nothing about it. Like, she doesn't want to,
Depends on the type of person you are.
yeah, she don't want to
If you're
know
the type of person that
the
you
ins and
feel-
outs. You get me?
If
But
it,
that could just, like I'm saying, that could just be, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could just
It
be
could,
another
yeah,
way.
When
give her
you
the
hear this,
boost to-
do you really want to know? Ask yourself that question and find out. If you don't, then for real, allow it.
Because
I'm
you're
just
like,
saying
she
if.
sounds undecisive, innit? She doesn't know what she wants to do, but then you need to know stuff. Because now you take him back, and then there's stuff just you don't know, and
it depends on who you are, I think. It depends on the type of person you
but
are.
then if you're gonna take him back now and you've not asked the questions, what happens when something pops up into your mind? You're gonna now start bringing up stuff.
But it sounds like she doesn't want to. She sounds like she hates him. So I think, from me, the best advice is what Chanel said about, you know, what you want at the end of the day, because it's not about him, it's about
And
you.
then the cousin's daughter's just a constant reminder, like,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah,
The
so we'll
thing
make
is,
that
it's
peace,
like-
innit?
If he wasn't sick, would he propose? Would that even be an option on the table? For example,
That's what I'm saying.
would you even be considering?
It's almost like a guilt trip.
Yeah, would you even be considering this whole situation if it wasn't for the fact that he's ill in that kind of respect? That's what I mean. Just make your peace, but then do what's in your best interest in that sense, because you're the one that's got to live with the outcome of whatever you decide at the end of the day.
And just because he's got cancer doesn't mean he's going anywhere. People fight cancer all the
Exactly.
time.
True.
Oh boy, he's died.
True.
You heard it, boy. You know? But yeah, let's get into bangers of the week. So basically, bangers of the week is just tunes that UK tunes that you might have heard that
Okay.
you think, yeah, I like this one. But you could get criticised if it's whack. You get me? They might say, yo, who picked that tune there? You don't have no taste.
Can I check? Can I look at my phone?
Yeah, of course, do your thing.
No, I'm terrible. I'm a DJ. I've had to open my phone. And
Well, everyone's, bro, I'm just seeing bare phones out like,
Boy,
you get me?
I
But
thought-
yeah,
Because
boom.
there was one.
Come on.
I don't know.
Hashtag DMD podcast. Hit us up. You get me on the dmdlive.co.uk.
Yeah.
Let me do my outro, please.
Let's give me
Don't
one.
do that.
What you got
Yeah,
for me
catch
on
us on the YouTube, DMD podcast. Catch us on the Instagram at DMD podcast. Twitter at DMD podcast. Yeah, send in your dilemmas. Boom. You're done now. Course.